Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about a moment that has forced the world to rethink everything about this war. Russia is in panic after Ukraine's massive strike, and this attack has already created shockwaves across international media, military analysts, and political circles. What happened on the battlefield in a matter of hours has changed the situation completely. The attack was not just powerful, it was strategic, surprising, unpredictable, and executed with precision that many experts believed was impossible at this stage of the war. This strike did not happen randomly. Ukraine had been preparing for this kind of operation for weeks, maybe even months. The level of planning, surveillance, intelligence gathering, and coordination was beyond what Russia expected. For the first time in a long time, Russian forces were caught completely off guard. The attack targeted critical infrastructure and command facilities that were supposed to be well defended. Yet the defenses collapsed, and the Russian side was unable to react in time. Military sources reported that Russian air defenses were bypassed. The attack came from directions that were never expected. Some experts say this was done using advanced technology and unexpected flight paths, making the weapons nearly invisible. Others believe it was a collaboration of multiple systems working together to overwhelm the Russian defense. Whatever the truth is, one thing is clear. Ukraine launched an attack with a clear plan to destroy Al-U targets, and they succeeded. This strike changed the war narrative. For months, Russia was trying to show confidence, order, and control. But this single attack destroyed that image. Panic was seen in the Russian military response. Command units started relocating. Helicopters and armored vehicles were shifted. The movements were rushed, unorganized, and desperate. Russian media was struggling to explain what had happened. The government tried to downplay the situation, but the footage and satellite images told a different story. International reactions came immediately. NATO leaders, European governments, and military analysts called this attack a turning point. They said Ukraine has demonstrated a capability that even major countries would fear. This is not just about destroying equipment. This is about sending a message to Russia and the world that Ukraine still has the power and strategy to strike wherever it wants. The psychological impact of this attack is even bigger than the physical damage. Ukraine executed the operation with intelligence coordination, drones, long-range missiles, and ground support units. The combination made it impossible for Russia to defend against it. These tactics were part of a bigger plan that Ukraine had been developing over time. The strategy was to weaken Russia's critical positions and destroy their operational confidence. And it worked exactly as intended. The Russian side was confused, delayed, and slow in response. This delay cost them even more losses. Reports suggested that the attack destroyed multiple critical assets. The Russian army was forced to move their supply routes and command lines. The strike not only damaged the infrastructure, it damaged communication lines, logistics, and control structure. Some analysts believe that Russia will need weeks to recover fully, but the deeper impact is that Russia now knows that Ukraine can strike deep anytime. The war is no longer predictable for them. Every day and every night, Russia now has to worry about the next attack. Ukraine proved that time, strategy, and patience can defeat even the strongest military positions. This is not simply about weapons. It is about intelligence, positioning, and understanding the enemy. Ukraine used every resource available, including drones, surveillance, and tactical information gathered from multiple sources. It showed the world that this war is not only fought by tanks and soldiers. It is fought by technology, information, and strategy. Russia is now facing a serious challenge. Their defensive positions are exposed. The leadership has to decide whether to escalate, relocate, or change their entire operational strategy. Many Russian commanders were not prepared for such an attack. This has opened a new chapter in the war, where Russia is playing a defensive game rather than leading. Every major analyst agrees that this attack has shifted the initiative to Ukraine. This is one of those rare moments when a single operation changes the direction of a war. The public inside Russia has reacted strongly. Many citizens questioned how such a massive strike could take place. Social media channels in the country were full of criticism and confusion. Even official government channels struggled to control the narrative. It is difficult to hide something like this when the world is watching every step. Journalists and military experts across the world say that this attack is just the beginning of a new wave of Ukrainian operations. Ukraine's attack was not only strategic, it was symbolic. It sent a message that the war is not slowing down. It is accelerating. Ukraine is gaining strength and confidence, while Russia is losing control and defensive stability. This attack has changed future expectations. Now the question is not whether Ukraine can strike Russia again. The question is when and where the next attack will happen. And this uncertainty is one of the biggest military disadvantages Russia is facing right now. The war is shifting rapidly. International allies are supporting Ukraine more strongly. There are talks about more weapons, advanced missiles, and defense systems being delivered soon. Experts believe that this support will increase even further after this attack. The world now sees Ukraine as a country that still has the strength, courage, and capability to continue fighting effectively. The attack has boosted morale and motivation on the Ukrainian side. Russian defense officials are studying the attack carefully. They are trying to understand how the strike succeeded and how their defenses failed. They will probably change their tactics and defensive strategies, but Ukraine has already shown that they can adapt faster. Modern warfare is not only about numbers or hardware. It is about adaptation and flexibility. Ukraine has shown both of those qualities, and Russia now has to catch up. The attack also created panic among Russian forces on the ground. Frontline troops are now uncertain about their positions. They do not know where the next strike will come from. Some units evacuated positions and moved backwards. This creates gaps in the battlefield that Ukraine can exploit. Panic is one of the most dangerous elements in war. It causes disorder, delays, and breakdowns in command, and panic has already started to spread through the Russian lines. Ukraine's strategy has always been to weaken Russia from the inside, not by massive waves of soldiers, but by precision strikes that create confusion and operational collapse. The world has seen similar tactics in previous operations, but this one was on a different level. The scale, coordination, and success of this attack made it one of the most impactful moments of the war. Even military veterans admitted that the strike was one of the most accurate and damaging operations in months. This event is not just a victory on the battlefield, it is a victory in intelligence, timing, and execution. It forced Russia to shift into a defensive mindset, and this shift has consequences. Ukraine now has the advantage of momentum. Momentum is one of the most powerful weapons in war. Once you have it, you can control the pace, the planning, and the pressure. Ukraine has taken the initiative, and it will use it to push Russia into more difficult positions. As the world watches, more operations are expected. Ukraine now knows what works. They have tested their strategy and seen the results. Russia knows it too, and that is why they are worried. The panic is not temporary. It has long-term impact. It affects decision-making, troop deployment, and the confidence of military leadership. Russia will try to rebuild and recover from this attack, but Ukraine will not give them time. The attack has changed global politics as well. Countries that were observing from the sidelines are now more involved. The balance of power is shifting, and the war is no longer a regional conflict. It is an international struggle. The strike has forced the world to recognize the importance of every single operation. And Ukraine has shown that they are capable of changing the course of the conflict with one decisive move. In the coming weeks, we will see more reactions. Russia will attempt to respond. Ukraine will continue to strike. And the international community will continue to monitor every development. The situation is evolving faster than ever. This attack was not just another headline, it was a historic moment. Russia is now in a position where every mistake will cost more. Ukraine has proven that they can surprise and break through the strongest defenses. Thank you for watching, and stay updated as we continue to follow this historic shift in the war and break down every major development as it unfolds.